Morning. So I think what I'm thinking about a lot of the times is distinctions. How much discipline versus not enough discipline. How much safety and protection versus way too much safety and protection. There is a very thin balance between most things, and I don't have the answer. I don't. I'll go through situations, and that's kind of where I'm gauging things. Am I going overboard with this? Am I not handling it enough? Help me, Lord. That's kind of what it boils down to. We hear so much about safety. So much about safety that it makes you think about things, which is good. But it's also, I think, oftentimes making us think about things more than we should, and it's kind of clouding our judgment. This is kind of a world today where you have such an abundance of information that if you read up enough on any one subject, you're going to have more than enough knowledge. I have come to realize, though, or think about the fact that when I was a kid, I wasn't thinking about those things. And I'm not sure if my parents were thinking about those things or not, because I think a lot of the things that we think about now has been kind of perpetuated by the news cycle that has us being fed countless terrible things that can happen every single day. I mean, it's truly a wonder sometimes that we are standing and walking and breathing, because this world is perceived as so dangerous. And on that note, though, I don't want to be the ignorant person who's not taking any precautions. So again, it's that balance. What's enough and what's too much, and each situation needs its own gauge on what is. So every once in a while I get kind of overcome with this feeling like I am definitely way too ignorant to be in this world. But at the same time, I have this belief that God provides provision. That's kind of a double word, but He provides for me and walks alongside me and before me and behind me. So I feel like I'm pretty much covered from a lot of the things that are dangerous or serious. And I wouldn't want to say that I also then believe that nothing bad can ever happen to us, because that's not a realistic thought. So again, it's this balance of trying to figure out what can I do to kind of protect myself, and what can I do to let us live. And I was touching on it a little bit last night with germs, but it's kind of that way with everything if you think about it. It's like people who are in the medical field, for instance, they have great ideas for how to keep yourself healthy. And they also have just so much knowledge of all the things that can happen, especially people that work in the emergency rooms, for instance. And then you've got police officers and firefighters that see all the terrible things that people go through. And so then we've got this situation where normal everyday people need just normal everyday safety tips that aren't it's wisdom from those people who have the experiences, but at the same time, the experiences that happen to people in one regard doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen to us. So it's just interesting. And I think I would like to just encourage some thought and awareness about it, and how you, I guess, kind of work through different situations and different scenarios. Are you spending too much time thinking about the things that could happen? I do have this kind of little saying, it's not what if, it's what now. And what that means is, we can think about possibilities, but if it gets to be where every question that your mind is going through when something comes up, it's like, what if, that likely is more of an anxious thought pattern. What now kind of makes you think, okay, this actually happened. What am I going to do about it now? So that's kind of just one little thought change. Of course, we want to have common sense. You know, we grew up in a world, I did, where people left their doors open. I'm in that habit sometimes, and then all of a sudden you're like, that should be locked. So I don't know, it's a lot of things, but again, just kind of gauge yourself and see, am I overthinking things? Am I bringing on stress and anxiety for things that probably won't happen? Or am I considering wisely ways to keep my family safe? And ultimately, I do believe that if you find yourself in a situation of danger, we do have instincts and we do have adrenaline, and we've been designed to manage those situations, and we do have a holy God that's with us. And again, like I said, that doesn't mean that you're never going to experience terrible things. I mean, we know accidents happen. We know that, life-threatening illnesses happen. And we do have medical fields and emergency personnel, and thank you if you're serving in any capacity that is caring for the public. Ultimately, the best defense that we could possibly have is praying about things. And there's scripture that talks about praying unceasingly. And so if you find yourself in a situation where you need your adrenaline, you can probably bet that it's going to kick in. And if you find yourself in a situation that's going to be more of a long-term experience, prayer is the way to go. And all of those little common sense things, probably a good idea to know a few of them, but don't go overboard with it. I know it's easier said than done. I know everything I say here is easier said than done. And a lot of times when I'm saying things, it also is me just speaking to myself. So with that said, I don't know, just try not to overthink things too much, because we definitely do a lot of that in this world today. Have a great day.